The UN observer mission in Syria is now over. A small civilian liaison team will remain, but the 100 or so military observers will leave over the next week.
It's final. The UN's observers in Syria will be packing up and clearing out. There were two conditions for them to remain, neither of which had been met.
Those two conditions were the cessation of the use of heavy weapons and the reduction in violence from all sides. So the mission will come to an end at midnight on Sunday.
The 300-strong observer mission set out in April to monitor a truce brokered by UN and Arab League envoy Kofi Annan. However, his six-point peace plan ended up in tatters after it never took hold, and the observers suspended their operations amid safety concerns as fighting worsened in June. The mission's end has irked the Russians. Moscow had wanted it to remain past the weekend.
France's ambassador to the UN, Gérald Aurot, who is the current president of the Council, announced the decision on Thursday. That's 3 days before the mission's mandate expires.
UNSMIS will fade out, but there will be, what is the most important, there will be a UN presence, and we do hope a useful UN presence.
Aurot said the Council also decided to set up a UN liaison office in Syria's capital, Damascus. The UN observers started their mission in April, but their operations have been paralyzed by the intensified fighting between the military and opposition forces.
Renewal conditions for the observer mission have not been met. Russia had repeatedly called for them to remain, but the United States opposed the move, arguing Syrian government forces had failed to stop their onslaught.
The United Nations has asked us about the possibility to appoint Al-Akhdar al-Ibrahimi, and we have welcomed that. But a final decision hasn't yet been made by the United Nations. They said there is a tendency towards pulling the UN supervision mission, and we said that is your business. They said we will replace them with an office upon the suggestion of the UN Secretary General, and we said we welcome it. We want to preserve the presence of the UN, and this shows our good intention towards the work of the UN. But I challenge the UN to bring forward a party from the opposition or the armed groups that accepts to halt the violence.
We believe that those members of the Council who insisted that the UNSMIS can continue did not really show commitment to ending hostilities and to working towards a political settlement in Syria.
Brahimi will want to distance himself from the legacy of Annan's failure and chart his own course. But there's an open question just how much influence he can have in a situation that one diplomat described as an impossible mission.